Hello everybody, we are doing something new for Sports Squad called weekly announcements. Now, before we do anything, we're going to do a good old Bible verse to start off this week. The one that I went with is, of course, the one that feels right. We were going to do this as the first one, but after that amazing game, I think with God all things are possible was the perfect one. This one is John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only Son, that whoever so believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Believe in the Lord, believe in Jesus, and you will make it to your final destination, which is eternal life. But it's not as easy as you think. You can't just say, I believe in him, do believe in him, and not live the life. You have to live a life like a Christian. I'm going to tell you right now, you can't cuss. You can't willfully sin. Like, you can't sin on purpose. It's got to be accidental. You got to try your best not to sin every day, even if you do, because we'll fall short on the glory of God. It says that in the Word. We all fall short to the glory of God. But with God, all things are possible. So you have God on your side. No matter how many times you sin, even though you try not to, God will forgive you. And then, that's the Bible verse of the week. The thing I gotta talk about is this upcoming game. This Sunday, June 15th, is the Pro Bowl. Now, last year, season 1, we did the Pro Bowl. It was me, Dan, team captain for Team Dan, versus James, aka Jam, for Team Jam. And it was a fun, successful Pro Bowl in season 1. Ton of fun, ton of great action, ton of great touchdowns, interceptions, great offense and defense in that game. But if all goes according to plan, season 2 might be even better. We got Team North versus Team South. The South will be home against Team North because team captain of the North is Dylan, quarterback for the Tigers. And team captain of the South is quarterback Jason, quarterback for the Bolts. Now, these are the top 2 quarterbacks in the league. And they did their draft a couple weeks ago, and we posted it on Instagram. The teams are set. We're going to have a 5 versus 5, maybe 6 versus 6 football game for Pro Bowl. And then at halftime, we will have 3 mini games. The first one is the quarterback competition. Dylan and Jason will be on one end zone, one part of the end zone, and then they have to throw the ball. And then let's say the ball lands at the 40-yard line. They got to run to it. They got to run, pick the football back up, and they got to keep throwing it until they get into the other end zone. And then they got to do the same thing to go back. The first one that does that and throws it back first wins, and they will get 7 points added for their team, for the scoreboard. Second game will be Spectacular Catch. We did this last year. Team Jam won thanks to their team captain James catching a great pass. We have 3 players for each team do Spectacular Catch. And of course, Dylan and Jason will be the quarterbacks throwing for their teams. And then whoever wins that will get another 7 points. And then the third one is, of course, going to be 1v1s. They have 2 players, 1 player for each team. And then whoever scores 3 touchdowns on 1v1s first will win that. They get 7 points for the team. Tune in when it goes, when we publish it on YouTube, here on YouTube at Sports Squad for the Pro Bowl. And if you guys live in Turlock and you live near Pittman High, at 6 p.m. June 15th at the Pittman High football field, you guys can go over as fans and watch the game. That's what we need. That's what we're here to talk about. And let's move on to another piece of news here on Weekly Announcements for Sports Squad. Now, next piece of information is what happened in Week 6. And boy, oh boy, was that one heck of a game. For the first time ever in Sports Squad history, we not only had the first ever overtime game, first ever double overtime game, but for the first time ever, we had a safety and another first time ever, It's the first time in sports court history a game ends on a safety. That was one heck of a game, back and forth for both teams. Cyclones had a big lead, had like a 12-point lead, and then Bolts never gave up. They kept alive in the game, and they won that game by 2 points. 108-106 was the final score, and the standings, we're going to pop up right here. As you can see, the Bolts are the only team, the only one undefeated, and they are first in the division, which means they will face the 4th seed in the playoffs, while the 2nd seed will face the 3rd seed. So yeah, that is how that's how the playoffs are going to work, and that's your standings right there. And speaking of playoffs, yes, the 1st seed will face the 4th seed, and the 2nd seed will play the 3rd seed, and we're going to have a doubleheader next Saturday on June 21st. We will have at 3 p.m. at the Pittman High football field. It will be the Bolts, 1st seed Bolts versus the 4th seed Seagulls at 3 p.m. And then at 6 p.m. at the Pittman High football field on the same day on June 21st on Saturday, we will have the Tigers versus Cyclones. So 2nd seeded Cyclones versus the 3rd seeded Tigers. Whoever wins these 2 games, they will meet next Saturday, June 28th at 6 p.m. at the Pittman High football field in Powerball 2. Who you got winning these games? Do you got Bolts Cyclones Powerball, Bolts Tigers Powerball, or Seagulls Cyclones Powerball, or Seagulls Tigers Powerball? Drop your predictions in the comment section down below. And these is the playoff bracket, so you know. See you guys in the playoffs, but first we got to get through the Pro Bowl, of course. Okay, now we're going to go off some rule changes. We recently changed the rule where 1 hand touch, not 2, only because we've seen some players cheat and lie and say that they caught 2 hand touch even though it was only 1, so we changed it to 1 so they don't cheat. Another rule we have is for overtime. For regular season, because we didn't implement this till after the game, last game in Game 6 of the regular season game, we had let both teams have a possession in overtime. That's not going to be the case. In the regular season for overtime, if there's an overtime in the regular season for Season 3, the team that scores a touchdown first will automatically win the game. But for playoffs, it's going to be like Game 6. Both teams will have a possession in overtime in the playoffs. And then if it goes to a second OT, the team that scores first in OT, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, or even a safety, will win the game. That's another rule change. Another rule change that we are going to be implementing is that you cannot throw the football on purpose outside of the end zone. If you do that, it'll be a flag, and they will start at the first down marker at the 25-yard line. And then we have recently changed the out of bounds for the sidelines from the numbers to the real sideline to sidelines. We did it in Game 6, and it was a success. It made the game more impactful, made the game more stressful, and more interesting, and more fun. And that's another rule change. Another rule change we are thinking of doing is for the quarterback. We don't know if we're going to keep the 7 seconds or the 10 seconds. 7 seconds might be a little too short, but 10 seconds might be a little too long. So we're still debating whether we're going to do 7 seconds or 10 seconds. But yeah, those are the new rule changes for the SSFL here in Season 2. Another thing I would like to talk to you guys about is what we kind of said about the Pro Bowl. We made an announcement here on Instagram saying that for players, bring your friends, your family to the football game so that we can have a crowd. And viewers that live in if you live near Turlock High or Pittman, show up to the Pittman High football field for football games and be fans. It's free. You don't have to pay any money to watch the games. You can go there for free and hang out and chill and watch the game. Yeah, that's just a little announcement that we wanted to tell you guys about, that you guys are invited to go to games for free to watch the games. Hope you guys show up to games. And then for the final announcement is who do you think is going to win it all? Who's going to win Pro Bowl? Who's going to win their playoff games? Who's going to win Powerball? Who's going to win their awards this season? And who's going to become the Powerball MVP and the Power Bowl champs? Let us know in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoy the weekly announcements here for Sports Squad. See you on June 15th at the Pro Bowl. Peace.